Again, these arguments are made not just by people like this. Andrew Tate has made the same sorts of arguments. Here's Andrew Tate talking about how men don't benefit from marriage.
I think it's a fantastic environment. And I think in an idealistic world, that's the way it would be. I think the reason it's not happening today is that I don't think many men actually benefit from marriages or relationships anymore. And people are always going to have to require some degree of incentive. I think that we've set up the world now in a way where men are seen as worker droids. They're expected to go work all day, come home, clean up as well, share the cleaning with the woman, no meal prepared for them, not have any authority over the household, and just be a worker droid and be sad. And I don't think that many people understand that men are intrinsically wired to desire respect amongst our peers and in our environments. This is why CEOs work so hard, because they get respect in their company.
Okay, so again, I don't disagree with much of what he's saying, but the solution, very often with the red pill kind of movement,
Okay, and this is when he takes a shot at the red pill movement. But real quick, let me just show you something, for example, okay? Because this is Ben is giving a bias from his perspective. Okay, so this is wealth and divorce, okay? So this is predictive margin of divorce in the next year, and this is your net worth, okay? So here, the rate is pretty high. But as you go on along the line here, 60,000, 100,000 is here, 140 is here, 180, 220, 260, 300, 340, and 380. It does continue to go down. Okay. But again, they have, like I said, even these girls who are like going for fucking celebrities and shit, man, these guys are worth in the millions and millions and millions. And the data just showing too is just like, you know, even if it's safer for rich people, there's still a fucking risk, you know? So he goes on to say here, like, oh, the red pill community, like they fucking, you know, they get the diagnosis right, but they get the solution wrong. And no, the thing is he's not even paying attention to the solution. But he was on a show the other day with Brett Cooper, and she was talking about the passport bro movement, and he was like, oh yeah, I agree with the passport bro movement. But he can't put two and two together, understand like that is part of our solution. So that's what I'm saying. He's like 2009 red pill, when like they still believe like there was hope in America. They don't see like the like, you know, the deep cancer in the bones of the culture, but we do.
Amongst our peers and in our environments. This is why CEOs work so hard, because they get respect in their company.
Okay, so again, I don't disagree with much of what he is saying, but the solution, very often with the red pill kind of movement, the diagnosis is correct and the solution is wrong. That happens very, very often in this sort of movement. I want to talk to you about Daily Wire's most trusted privacy partner and premier sponsor of this show.
Get out of here. I don't care about your sponsor. Change your opinions and I will. Just joking. Love you, Ben. Have me on the show. I mean, he likes what I have to say. So then, this is a good clip, because I saw this. This is when I noticed that Destiny was like an intellectual farce. Okay, because this next clip is Destiny crying about his bullshit ideas, which really he has none. He's just a contrarian. But him and Pearl arguing, and Destiny is arguing that you should end a relationship, divorce a marriage, divorce a family, destroy everything over chores not being done. Take a look here.
They do is because of arguments like the one that a person named Destiny makes with Pearl in this particular clip.
Women out earning men have a hard time respecting the men they're with.
That's not true.
That's not true. I read into that data and it explained why. A lot of the time, the women reported that they were expected to be in charge of the household duties and still work a job. And they had to...
Oh, come on, what percent of modern women actually cook? I'm just saying this shit's automated nowadays. I mean, you have a washing machine, a dishwasher.
Yeah, sure, you can say, but even at that, but as much as it's automated, men still don't do it. They still don't do it. That's the issue. Is that one of the big problems with households?
For divorce,
it absolutely is a reason. When
again, just being a contrarian is what Destiny does. I mean, but again, he has a special place in hell. His comeuppance is coming. But you know, again, looking at this whole situation here, to destroy a family over chores is just insane. And that's what women are doing. They're bitching about chores. They're bitching about emotional differences is the number one thing that these women are complaining about when it comes to divorce. Yeah, exactly. The culture is rotten to the core. It's like Babylon. It really is. It really is. It's like, it's worse. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. America is fucking Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. But look, this is just asinine to say the absolute most about this take.
When you get older and you manage a household on your own, Pearl, you'll see how fucking annoying it is when you're.
And Pearl does manage a household on her own. I don't know what the fuck he's even talking about. Like, she lives there by herself, you know? She manages the house. She cooks, she cleans. Pearl has cooked and cleaned in front of me. Pearl has cooked me multiple steaks and food after the show when I was there in London. She literally cooks and cleans like a good woman.
Working, and then you come home and everything is fucked up and horrible and nobody's fucking cleaning anything. Yeah, that is a totally valid reason for divorce, of course.
Yeah.
Sure.
it's not.
To break up a home,
Pearl,
a family.
Have you
kids.
lived in a filthy home? But like, it's so funny because like lifelong friends from like grade school, high school will dorm in college and then hate each other forever over like bad dorm roommates, and that's not even.
Okay, and so that's a completely flawed argument as well, of course, because that's what he does. I mean, look at this fucking guy. The whole situation with them saying, like, you know, roommates and stuff, like, they don't become friends. Dude, everybody outgrows their fucking friends from college. Are you kidding me? The people that I went to college with, I have nothing in common with those guys. I'm fucking killing it. I'm living the dream at a high level. I don't have anything in common with those people. But when you choose a life partner, it's different. You both make the agreeing statement to like engage in conflict resolution, engage in getting shit done together, working through troubles, working through problems, you know? Having the house a little messy, like, dude, you can pay a cleaning lady if it gets to that extent. It's really not that hard at all. So he's just doing this to be contrarian because that's his whole brand. It's just arguing. That's all he does. Yeah, I can't spread a man that spreads his cheek. Yeah, he sucks a dick too. Don't forget that.
In a relationship. So yeah, of course I think stuff like this is perfectly valid. I think splitting up duties in the household is like one of the most important parts of like a relationship, because it's where you're spending most of the time together. This is why I say, people get triggered when I say it, I don't think you're even dating until you live together, because until you live together, you don't really know who the other person's like. And once you start living together and you see what the household duties are like, then you get a feel for what the relationship is.
So what Destiny is saying here is totally crazy. Okay, the idea that you get divorced,
and this is where people like Ben and the Tradcons, they get it right. Like, because Ben has experience being a father. Ben has experience being a husband, and he's a very successful man. He is a high value man. Okay, he is absolutely a high value man, and he does good work. He has a clear conscience. He's not out here pushing some psychotic agenda. He's not out here, you know, telling people to do bad things. He's telling people to live a good, traditional, conservative life, which is how the majority of humanity has gotten to where we are right now. So there's nothing wrong with what he does, and I really think like Ben, his heart is in the right place, and he's a good guy. I just think that he is unfortunately just undereducated on the reality of the circumstances and now that the average man is going through. And honestly, I too experience it a little bit because, you know, like, I obviously am successful financially. So, you know, one thing I don't do in Tokyo is like I barely ride the trains, right? And that's like a status thing. And I'm not trying to show off and be flexing. I'm just telling you how you can lose perspective sometimes. I take a taxi everywhere. They come pick me up, they drop me off. I don't deal with fucking trains. I don't deal with any of this shit. But recently I started riding the trains again and kind of enmeshing myself back in society to like help out. Well, quite frankly, is to help out the guys that are coming here in 11 days for the in-person training, just to like get a real feel for the city and give them a full breakdown of everything Japan has to offer. But even me, like when I ride the trains and stuff, it's like, you know, I kind of get an idea of like what the common person is going through and stuff. So I could see how him making millions and millions and millions of dollars can view this also from a flawed perspective. Because here's the thing. Sorry, I know I'm a little small here. So, because here's another thing too. Okay, when you're happy in a relationship and you have a good woman and you have a good family, you have like a bubble of happiness that you really don't understand how miserable the outside world is. But if you lose that relationship partner or you lose the relationship or whatever, and then you kind of go back out to reality, you're like, oh, it sucks out here. Like the majority of these people are miserable and suffering. And that's why it's on you as a man to focus on the core four, money, muscles, game, frame, to increase the quality of your life so you can have a good life and have your own little protective bubble. You know, Paul talks about that a lot.